This is a shelter made out of the forest itself, and I'm gonna spend the night in it. Let's go.
I found myself on this really beautiful spot. We have the swamp in the background. We're on a really nice steep hill. I brought a couple tools with me, a pickaxe, a shovel, a saw, and a machete. And we're gonna be making a shelter out of the forest today. First things first, let's clear the area.
I'm telling you, this is not a grave. Bit more to go. I think it's time for a nice little treat. I'm just relaxing a little bit. I got my tea going. I think I'm done with the digging section. I got the entranceway, I got the main room, the family room, the dining room, whatever, the living room. This is the bedroom. I literally think I have dirt everywhere you can have dirt. But yeah, I'm just gonna relax, have myself some tea, and I think phase one is done. Let's go look for some sticks. This forest has these huge vines just everywhere. You can actually see, like some cases, I think they've become parts of the tree, which is pretty crazy. There we go. Nice straight stick. Dead tree right here.
I just finished putting on a layer of leaves on the roof and on the side walls, and the back wall is mostly a dirt wall, but there are some leaves there as well. And I think it's looking really nice. It's a lot darker in here, it's a lot cooler in here. The sound is a little bit dampened from the forest, and it's definitely blocking out some wind. But yeah, I'm just really happy with the progress of this thing. It's looking pretty sweet. Not too much longer and I'll be ready to spend the night in it. Awesome. We got a wall. I put a nice little window inside of it. It's made out of like 99% just really big thick vines I found hanging and wrapped around trees, which I think worked perfectly because they're pretty flexible, so I was able to weave them between the longer sticks. But yeah, it looks really nice. There's a nice little bit of protection, it lets some light through, and it makes it feel like more of a structure. The next thing I gotta tackle is the front door situation. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna go about that, but I'm gonna have to ponder and think on that. But overall, I'm super pleased with the shelter. It's looking sweet, and I'm excited to spend the night in it soon. the stick door. I tied it to the roof of the structure with some vines and roots I found, and so it can kind of pivot on that kind of axis. It's completely held together, kind of similarly to the wall, by the pressure of the sticks kind of pushing in on the three main beams. I've never done anything like that, and I think it turned out really nice, and I do like how you can see some light through it. The next thing I gotta do is I just want to get a little bit more stuff to put around the outside perimeter, and then maybe put some like dirt up against the side walls there. But yeah, the shelter's becoming super cozy and super homey, and it's actually really nice to just sit in here. This is just a beautiful spot. You got the mossy water, the forest, the birds chirping, the beautiful sunlight, and I made myself a little tiny bench. This shelter's coming along perfectly. It's done. It's finally done, and I think it looks really nice. Let's check it out. So this is the shelter I built out of just things around the forest, fallen trees, vines, anything I could find. You got the lovely rock/garden section. I made myself a really nice little bench that I can have dinner and stuff like that. I made a nice little window in it, the stick wall, which I'm proud of. Let's check out the inside of it. Just swing on open. Well, here's the inside. The whole thing has just the leaves all over the roof and the sides. It looks really cool. You can see this is gonna be like my sleeping area. I laid some really long sticks all over just to kind of keep the shape of the earth. And you can also see I fenced in, I guess, the whole sides of everything just to prevent dirt from kind of falling in or caving in when I'm sleeping, and just to keep the shape of this whole shelter. You can actually see back here is earth itself, because I've dug this whole thing out of the earth. So this is all below ground level, and I even dug it deeper here for a nice little kind of like footrest, so I can hang off the edge and sit and just enjoy the scenery. Just really happy with the way this thing turned out. It took a really long time to make. Definitely really hard, but it's definitely a lot of fun, and I'm excited to spend the night in it. It's a beautiful day, beautiful scenery. Yeah, what else could you ask for? Time for a nice dinner. Today I'm having some gnocchi and I'm gonna have some pesto sauce to go with it. Should be delicious fluffy pasta that I'm really gonna enjoy. Bubble bubble. Maybe a little overboard on the pesto, but it's gonna be flavorful. This is really good. I always like gnocchi. It's like little pasta pillows that are delicious. This is my first time ever trying to make a bushcraft shelter like this. I've never done anything like this before. I've used interesting materials like boxes and saran wrap, bubble wrap, pools, etc., tin foil, but never just the forest itself. And this one was pretty challenging. Definitely was the longest one to make. So it was really hard to find a bunch of long straight sticks that I could use for like the beams and the roof supports without having to just cut down a bunch of trees. So that was definitely the challenging part. But I spent a lot of my time, probably 70-75% of the time, just finding the sticks, just walking around the whole forest looking for ones that have fallen or leaves, and it took quite a while for that, but I'm really happy with the end result. And it's cozy. I found all these nice rocks that are huge, and yeah, I'm just really happy. It's a really cool shelter and I'm proud of it. It's delicious. There's deer prints all over here. It's pretty cozy in here. I found a place for my hat, got my lantern ready for the night, got my tea that I brought in, which I'll probably have in a minute, and I'm just relaxing and enjoying my cool shelter. So I brought this thing. This is a security camera and it's plugged into a portable battery and it has like night vision mode, and this is just some electrical tape. And I want to take this to a tree and see if anything interesting happens or walks by the shelter at night. Let's go do that. The camera is set up, it's pointed at the shelter behind me. I can even watch it on the live stream on my phone if I want. Hello. Yeah, we're gonna check this in the morning, see if we catch anything. Can't really see the sunset too much from here, but you can see a little bit of it peeking through the trees there.
It's officially nighttime. Let's go on a little night walk. Definitely a lot cooler right now. I was thinking maybe we'd run into some deer back here. It looks like I must have spooked them earlier. And I'm not sure what animal's making that noise. Like a bird or something. This was a snake hole earlier right there. There's a bunch of little holes all over here, and I did see quite a bit of snakes earlier. All right, let's head on back and see the shelter. The candles look really nice. It's nighttime. I'm tucked in my sleeping bag. Super comfy. It's probably gonna get down to 40 degrees or so tonight, Fahrenheit. I'm not sure, but I have a really nice warm sleeping bag. And yeah, it's just been honestly a wonderful couple days building this shelter. I went ahead and I lit 2 candles down there, just because it looks kind of nice when all the lanterns and lights are off. But I will put them out when I do decide to actually go to sleep. And I did decide to put my backpack and some shoes at the bottom of the door there, just to keep out anything that wants to crawl in here. So hopefully that will be my little wall. I really like how the shelter turned out. Just like a lattice of sticks and leaves above me, a bunch of sticks to the sides of me, and I'm just sleeping on a little pad inside this little hut I made out of the forest. And it's awesome. It really was a great experience. In the morning, we're going to wake up and we're going to make some delicious pancakes. I'm also excited for that. Anyways, catch some good sleep, and I'll see you all in the morning. Good morning. We made it through the night. I think it's time to get up and make some pancakes in a minute.
Pancakes. Just a little bit of oil. Delicious. Got myself a delicious stack of pancakes. Brought myself some honey. We're gonna have ourselves a delicious pancake breakfast. Ooh, they're hot. Doesn't get better than pancakes in the forest. I slept all right last night. I should have spent a little more time on comfifying the bed. I wish there was pine trees in this forest. I wanted to make a bed of pine needles, but I couldn't find a single pine tree. And my sleeping bag ended up being too hot. I was like sweating all night, which is better than being too cold. And I did find a couple spiders on me throughout the night that I had to gently get rid of. Pancakes are good. I did a great job last night. Nothing came by and messed with me that I know of. We're gonna check the camera after breakfast. After I eat, I'm gonna relax a little bit, then I'm gonna just pack up my gear and I'm gonna head on out. And this is the only shelter that I've made so far that I'm actually just gonna leave. And hopefully it survives and maybe I can come back and visit it in the winter. We'll see. But yeah, this is only made out of things from the forest, so I don't have to come back and clean it. I did hear coyotes last night, howling in the night. They're kind of far this time, over this direction. And then earlier in the morning, I did hear turkeys. If you've never had honey with pancakes, definitely give it a try. The last pancake. Sadly, we're coming to the end of the journey today. Learned something new this time, built something new, and hope you enjoyed the journey with me. Delicious, delicious pancakes. I honestly almost forgot the camera. It's still on. Hopefully we caught something.
And now for the security cam footage. The first thing that came and wandered by and visited us in the night was a Mr. Raccoon. He came around the big tree that I built my shelter by, and he was very, very curious. He just sat there for a little while, wondering what to do or wondering what the heck someone was doing sleeping inside of there. He was very cautious the whole time and didn't wander too close, And if you notice in the very background by the tree, you can actually see another set of glowing eyes poke by. So there must have been another raccoon there as well. But they just wandered off into the night, and that was the last I saw of them. The second and most interesting thing that came to visit us was a Mr. Skunk, and boy, he was not very scared at all. He got up right up to the wall right next to me, probably about 2 feet away from my head or something like that. I will say I didn't smell a skunk at all last night, and I'm just very happy that he didn't decide to crawl inside and snuggle up with me and then spray me, because it could have been a very stinky morning. It just ended up hanging outside the front of the shelter for a little while, and it actually came back again maybe like an hour or so later, and it just wanted to check up on me to make sure that I was doing all right in the shelter. And then it wandered around and just was smelling at the ground. Maybe it was like looking for grubs or something, or just smelling remnants of me, or it was dreaming of pesto pasta. I really have no idea. I can safely say that that night is the closest I've ever been to a skunk in my life. It was right up on me and I had no idea about it, and it was just doing its own thing. They're pretty cute, to be honest, almost like little squirrels or big squirrels, but they stank. Playing Portal in the middle of the night in a bushcraft shelter by candlelight. Can you blame me?
Remember, the Amateur Science Bring Your Daughter to Work Day is the perfect time to have her tested.